Hey peeps, happy Sunday, February 2nd, 2025. It's crazy that it's already the second month of the year. It's going by fast, or at least I feel like it's going by fast. Today I wanted to talk about taking some time for yourself. And by taking some time for yourself, I mean allowing yourself to do nothing. Now, many of the times we think that doing nothing means just doing our hobbies or just scrolling on Instagram or some kind of social media or being on YouTube or reading a book or just doing nothing. But by nothing, I really mean nothing. And that's really hard for some people. And at least for myself, it was really hard in the beginning because I was someone that was so used to doing things all the time and being busy, at least with pottery or painting or jewelry or wood burning or reading a book, things like that. I was always so, and I always have been, so interested in those activities because that allows me to express my creative side. And it was about 2 or 3 years ago that I began embracing not doing anything, at least for a good half hour of the day. I would just sit in my room. Of course, you have to do this when you do have time because obviously you can't do it every day, or maybe you can in your situation, but I can't sit and do nothing for 30 minutes every single day because I have work, I have things to do, I have responsibilities. But when I do have some downtime during the week and I have some time for myself, I allow myself to do nothing, just sit in my room and think. Think about my life, think about what I want to do or not think. And this has allowed me to really not only not feel the need to be stimulated all the time by activities or by having to do something all the time, it's also allowed me to gain wisdom about my own life and sitting myself down, taking that time out of the day. And like I said, it can't be done every single day, or at least I can't do it every single day, but at least once a week or once every 2 weeks or once every 3 weeks, when I do have the time to sit myself down and not have any distractions around me, knowing that nobody's going to call me or no one's going to disturb me while I'm doing this. And just sitting. It's not meditation, it's not closing your eyes and taking deep breaths, but it's just allowing yourself to think and contemplate and ponder about whatever you want to ponder. It's your giving your mind the freedom to go wherever it wants to go. And sometimes our mind will go to places that we are scared of or that we're not used to and that are very uncomfortable, like painful events that have happened in the past or certain scenarios that you think up and you become very scared because you're afraid of that happening in real life. But giving your mind the ability to think these thoughts through, or becoming aware of these thoughts, I should say, will allow you to question certain thoughts that are not helpful for you. Like, why am I having this thought about a scenario about so-and-so who was very close to me dying in a car accident? Why am I having that visceral fear? Or why do I feel this way? Or why do I still feel embarrassed about this and this event that happened 10 years ago, you know? Well, I have that sometimes where I think about something embarrassing that I did several years ago, and it still brings out these feelings. And you try and explore it. And it allows your mind, first of all, it allows your mind to freely, without restriction, go wherever it wants to go. And it also gives you the ability to become aware of these thoughts and aware of your thought patterns. And so when you become aware of your thought patterns, you become aware of how your state of mind is. Are you in a healthy state of mind, an unhealthy state of mind? Are you, when you sit yourself down and you just allow yourself to think and you allow your mind to go wherever it wants to go, are you having negative self-talk? Are you having positive self-talk? Are you having thoughts that are conducive to your growth, or are you having thoughts that are harmful to you or harmful to others? And you explore these thoughts, knowing, and this is the catch, knowing that these thoughts are just that, thoughts. They're not real. They're not, just because you think these thoughts doesn't mean that it's going to manifest or it's going to happen, or wow, it's going to happen right now, or it's going to happen tomorrow in a couple of years and now I have to be afraid. These are just thoughts, okay? And treat them like that. Just like clouds in the sky, it has nothing to do with the actual sky. If there's a bunch of clouds in the sky, that doesn't mean that the sky isn't blue, or like what's behind the clouds. There's no, what I'm trying to say is, don't take the thoughts too seriously. Just observe them. Okay? And once you observe your thought patterns, once you observe what you're thinking, you can become aware of your state of mind and therefore realize that maybe you have to change a couple of things. Maybe you're having negative self-talk, or maybe you're having a lot of fearful thoughts, a lot of anxious thoughts. And so that will allow you to get to the root cause of that anxiety. That will be the first step to help you get to the root cause of your anxiety. For example, for me, I have this fear of a close family member of mine dying in a tragic accident. And I have these thoughts, and they have no substance. There's no reason why I should be having these thoughts, but I have this fear, and it's a very real fear for me that comes up. And I've explored these thoughts, and sometimes when I think of these thoughts and my mind goes there, it's not that I consciously think of these thoughts, it's just that it pops in my head. It's not that I'm asking for these thoughts, they just pop in my head. And sometimes when I'm thinking about these thoughts, I start feeling anxiety and I start feeling a lot of fear. But what I can tell you is that I have explored these thoughts, and what I've come to the conclusion is that I love this person so much that their death and their passing would really deeply affect me. And someone once told me that there's a thing called anticipatory grief. And I'm not saying that that's healthy, I don't know. But I think I've lost a couple of people in my life that I've been very close to and that I've loved. And curiously enough for me, before they died, I experienced this thing called anticipatory grief, where I would cry, and they were healthy, nothing bad was happening to them, but I would cry and cry and cry because I would get thoughts of them not being here on earth anymore, and not me not being able to see them ever again. And they were healthy at that time, like when I would have these thoughts. And when they passed away, when a couple of people in my life have passed away that I'm really close to, but someone in particular that I was really, really, really close to in my life, she passed away, and when she passed away, I didn't suffer anymore. I didn't have that grief because I feel like I had experienced that grief, or I had kind of made peace with that person not existing anymore way before they actually stopped existing in this reality. And so that's how I came to the conclusion that, that's why I have this fear of a very close family member of mine no longer being here with me, because I don't want to lose them, and they mean a lot to me. And I don't want to a certain extent, thinking of them dying is my brain's way of protecting myself. If they did die in a surprising way that I wasn't expecting, it would be, to a certain extent, it's like my brain, I'm not saying that's going to happen. Heaven forbid it happens, right? But what I am saying is that I guess it's my brain's, what I've explored about myself is that my brain is trying to protect myself from any surprises that I may not foresee. And that's it's irrational to a certain extent, but it's my brain's way of protecting itself, protecting my heart. And you can question those thoughts. What I'm trying to say, I went on a tangent about my fears here, but sorry about that. But what I'm trying to say is that explore your thoughts, explore your mind, give yourself time to just think. And whatever comes up, positive thoughts, negative thoughts, that will show you your state of mind. And it will show you if your state of mind is healthy or not. And therefore, when you become aware of your unhealthy or healthy state of mind, you can make changes in your life. And you can question negative thoughts that aren't real, or thoughts that bring a lot of anxiety. And it takes a lot of time, and making it seem like, oh wow, you sit down with yourself and think about certain thoughts of anxiety and then you're healed the next day. No. It's a process. It's a long process sometimes. But it's necessary. It's necessary to contemplate about your life, to just contemplate about life in general. And so I encourage you to do that, to take some time to just relax and sit and do nothing. And I challenge you, because we're so addicted to stimulation, or having our minds constantly stimulated, this will be so hard for you in the beginning, or for most of us, at least for me. It was so hard for me to just sit and do nothing. But I challenge you to try. So, peace and love. Bye.